This week on the 302, we go places most people aren't able to go. We're at Rockwood and we're looking at all of the haunted spaces and hearing some really spooky stories. So cuddle up to somebody because you're gonna get scared. The 302 is right around the corner.
This is Rockwood, a rural Gothic mansion built in 1841 by merchant banker Joseph Shipley. In 1891, his great-nephew Edward Bringhurst bought the property. Walk through the lavish halls and you will see portraits of the Bringhurst family, including children Mary, Edith, and Edward, along with many of their beloved pets. While the mansion is now owned and operated by Newcastle County, many who work here say the Bringhursts still walk the halls. Paranormal experts from around the world have documented unexplained activity, from full apparitions to black rolling shadows. Some were caught on camera, a little boy, or a quick glimpse of a shadowy figure. Tonight, the 302 takes you inside Rockwood to hear the stories and experience the paranormal firsthand.
Hey 302, it's Jackie Ferris, and I am in a place where very few people get to go. I am in the attic of the Rockwood Museum for a very good reason. Every year, Rockwood has paranormal tours or ghost tours that are sold out, and I'm here with Philip Nord, who is the executive director, guy in charge of everything for so many years. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about this space. This is a pretty spooky space.
Well, it really is, for a number of reasons, actually. I think I always point out when we're coming up here that I think that Rockwood actually was on part of the Underground Railroad. Shipley was a Quaker at the time, and perfect time, perfect place, and everything for runaways, if you want to. Down in here, there's a hole that actually you can put a cover on here that looks just like this area here. You'd never know. You could get 20 or 30 people in there.
So you think people were hidden here?
I believe so, okay? I have no proof, but it certainly is the best hidden area in the whole place, I think. Except for the basement.
Sure.
And we'll see that, hopefully.
Now there is a spirit that you believe is up here, and you've actually given him a name.
I have. For some reason or another, he likes me, I guess, and we found him with using the dowsing rods. And these are very effective. And the dowsing rods will pick up this individual, and this individual's name is Bobby. And he is part of African American. He's about 8 or 9 years old, and he's been up there all the time when I come up here. And most of the other people cannot bring him up for some reason. And you can see the activity that's happening. I'm not even asking anything going on here. And he's here, okay? So I'm gonna say, okay, Bobby, this is Philip. We're up here in the attic, and I want you to show these folks here that, in fact, you are here by crossing the rods. Okay, he's here. Now, did you know Mr. Shipley when you first came here? You're gonna say yes or no? Okay, that's a very soft yes, if you will. Most of the time I have a lot of activity coming out of these things from Bobby, because he enjoys me coming up here. And he's a real character. Sometimes there's people up here, members of his family, we understand, another little boy. And of course, downstairs we have somebody that came in with this grand piano that we just got recently, and his name is Billy. So we have a whole extra family here that were not a part of the Shipleys or the Bringhurst. So lots of activity, and this is the best way to come up with the activity. We have actually electricity in our body that makes us function, and the electricity goes through the rods and it picks up on other areas. You can see, okay, we're getting some good activity right now. And dowsing rods have been around since the millennia, and people were using it actually out of sticks and things like that to find water underground, and they still do it today. We had some gentleman here that was part of I think it was the water department, and we were playing with these things, and he said, I use them every day to find water pipes.
From the attic, we travel to the first floor, where volunteers describe an eerie encounter with what they believe to be a four-legged member of the Bringhurst family.
I'm here with Linda and Alice. They're both volunteers here at Rockwood. Now, Alice, you had a very unusual experience with a dog, right?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about it.
Well, we had an open house, and it was Christmas time. So as docents, what we do is we stand in rooms to make sure that people, if they ask us questions, we answer them, but we make sure that nobody touches the antiques or sits on them. So I had a group in, and we had gone through an introduction and speaking, and they were leaving. They were going into the drawing room. So I'm still standing here in the reception doorway, and about that time, I felt a nudge against my leg. I, at the time, had a dog that was a lab mix, so I automatically started to pet like it was my dog when I realized that I'm at Rockwood, I'm not at home. And I looked down, and when I did, I saw the whole silhouette of this black, I believe it's a sheepdog. It's in a picture with Mary up in the staircase. I looked again, and it was gone. So that's when Linda was doing a head count at the door, when I motioned for her to come here a minute, because we both get senses and feelings. We don't really discuss it a lot because we're all about the history of this museum. But she knows that when I get these feelings, something's going on.
So you get called into the room, and what did you say?
I smelled wet fur. And I asked Alice, did you smell that? And she said, no, but I saw a dog. And then it brushed up against me, and my leg was wet.
And that was it.
And that was it. It was gone that quickly.
Yeah.
And we both have allergies, and our eyes started to water, so we knew it must be an animal, especially a dog.
Coming up next on the 302, a shadowy figure is caught on camera.
I'm Sarah Lynn from the Delaware Art Museum, and you're watching the 302.
We are now in the master bedroom with Rick and Linda. Now, you guys had a very eerie experience here not too long ago. What happened, Rick?
We were giving one of the ghost tours, and we stayed behind from the rest of the tour. And Linda felt something here uneasy, so we turned around and we're taking photographs of the door. I took one where on the door there was a round silhouette, just white. You know, it was like a mist. Seconds later, Linda took a photograph, and you see a black figure of a person where you had their leg and half of their torso went past the door.
So, Linda, what was going through your mind when you saw this shadow man, is what you call it, right?
That's correct. I was just amazed. I had never seen anything like that. I'd read about them, but had never seen anything.
And to catch it on camera.
That was just by luck.
Now, you guys see ghosts all the time here at Rockwood.
Yes.
We do.
Yes, it's not unusual when we're giving tours for people to see something out of their corner of their eye, where there's been a figure that's actually walked across the hallways when we've been giving tours. People's hair has been touched and moved. You know, so it happens anytime, all the time. It doesn't have to be night, doesn't have to be day. It just happens.
Next, we travel to one of the rooms with the most activity, Mary's room, another spot where an unexplained image is captured on film.
Okay, we are in Mary's bedroom, and I'm here with Rick. Now, this is, as you guys describe it, one of the most active rooms of the unexplained. Talk to me about who's been seen in this room.
In this room, there's been apparitions of Mary has been here. Mr. Shipley, the original owner of the house, it was also his bedroom originally, and he passed away in this room. So we have seen a male figure. Also on the SETI, we have an SLS camera that maps things out, and there has been a figure of a lady on the SLS.
So when you say SLS, what do you mean?
That's a structured light source, works just like an Xbox. Goes through a tablet, and it's a stick figure where if you shine it on a person, it's going to be that way. But if you're shining it and looking at the camera, it'll map out the room. If that stick figure comes up and there's nobody there, then it's called the anomaly. So we have to assume that's something paranormal.
So, and you think that the woman that was on the chaise, you think it might be Mary?
Possibly, yes.
Now, talk to me a little bit about the windows and the dogs.
The windows, one Christmas, we had someone come through and he took different photographs, felt like something was looking at him, and in the window was a full profile of a dog's face, and this is on the second floor. We do have that photograph in our collection that we can give to you.
Now, this is not the only image of a dog.
We have 3 different ones from 3 different rooms.
Do you know which dogs they are?
No, not offhand. It would be hard to tell because they had over 40 dogs. Each one was different. One looked like a collie, the other one looked like a German Shepherd, and one looked like a Labrador Retriever.
Paranormal teams from around the world have walked these halls and used high-tech equipment to document what they experience. We decided to do an experiment of our own.
We are now in Edward Bringhurst's bedroom, and we were told that if you play Stars and Stripes Forever, that you would get a really strong reading. Wow, look at that. So this is a K2 meter that registers different kinds of energy, often used in paranormal investigation.
Next, we head back downstairs to hear about a startling experience with Edward Bringhurst.
Wow, this is a gorgeous room.
Isn't it though?
What room is this?
This is, we call the third parlor. It was actually called the trunk room initially.
And you had an experience here.
I certainly did. I was locking up. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. Nothing special, nothing weird outside or anything. And I always come in because I'm the first in, last out. And so I check all of the rooms. And so I came in here. I just moved this out of the way. And I'm looking over, and there's somebody sitting in that chair over there. And didn't bother me initially because maybe one of the staff didn't ask the person to leave. And so I'm looking at this guy, and he's looking at me, and he's sitting there, and he's just staring right at me. And I get all of these chills going all over me. And then I recognized this smoking jacket, red smoking jacket, and I knew it had to be Edward the Third or Edward the Fifth. And he just looked at me with these eyes, and I was staring at him, sort of mesmerized. And I turned away, and I said, "I see you." And I looked back, and he was gone. He was not smoke, he was not white, he was like a real person sitting there. And it really freaked me out. So I called my partner, and I said, "You wouldn't believe what happened." And I was on the phone with him, and he said, "Are you all right? You sound like you've really gone over the end." And I said, "No, I really saw the person." But the problem is, I was the only person that saw this. And so you can crack that up to a vivid imagination. And actually I had to keep it quiet for a while because I thought some of my staff would think I was a lunatic.
But at the same time, they were seeing things as well.
Well, yes. In the meantime, we've seen all kinds of different things. So that was my real experience. It sort of almost started the whole thing. And from now, I've been here 17 years, and I've experienced a lot of different things. Of course, the common footsteps coming down the hallway, doors sort of opening and stuff by themselves, and you really can feel it when you're going someplace because you get all of these goosebumps all over you, and you know that they're there. And so when I'm locking up at night and all of a sudden that happens, and this is when I say, I know you're here, but I don't want to see you, okay? And that's what was my reaction when I saw Edward there.
Coming up next on the 302's Rockwood Paranormal Tour, we return to the basement to hear about a shadow man.
You're watching the 302.
Okay, now we're in the basement, and this is a super creepy hallway. Frank, talk to me a little bit. I guess the shadow man has been seen by some down this hallway, is that right?
Correct, yes, yes. He just comes across out of one of those doorways there, and he's seen almost all the time when we come down here. I don't know what it is. We don't fake anything here. Whatever happens, happens. And whoever it was named it Frank. So we say this is where Frank holds out.
Now you get the name Frank from, you've had some paranormal experts come in and that's what they've come to the conclusion for?
Well, I think I just call him Frank the Coal Man, because we figure that he is the person who, the coal chutes come at the end over there from outside, and then he would take the coal, run it down, and put it in this room over here, which we had the big, down below is where they would burn the coal and everything. They use coal all the time in the fireplaces and everything.
So he's not the only kind of presence that's been felt down here, though, right?
As far as I know, he's the main one that's down here. Yeah.
Excellent. So you have people that come through and do these tours every year. Is it just around Halloween that you do this?
No, 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 no. We do it all year round. We don't do it in December because we've got holiday open house and things like that going on there. And but all year long we do it.
So whenever you come and you do a tour, what do you need to bring? What do you need to do?
You don't need to bring anything, actually. Some people bring their own equipment, like the dowsing rods and the K2s. But actually, a lot of the smartphones have all kinds of special things, and they can do all kinds of things with those smartphones.
They're very sensitive.
They're very sensitive, and they can pick up on all kinds of things, yeah.
And it's very popular tour.
That's extremely popular because we don't have enough spaces. We could be doing these probably 2 or 3 times a week. The amount of people that are interested in doing this. And we've got, the ghost hunters came in here, and they're probably the preeminent ghost hunting group on television. And incidentally, I hear that they're going to restart with Jason and a bunch of the crew. So it'll be sort of exciting to see that happening.
Maybe they'll return to Rockwood.
I wouldn't doubt if they wouldn't, yeah, yeah.
Philip, thank you so much for giving us this tour and letting us go from top to bottom. We certainly appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right, take care. We'll be right back. Rockwood officials say the ghost tour is sold out for now, so you want to get on a waiting list so you can come down and check out all that's haunted here at Rockwood. That will do it for this episode. We'll see you next time on the 302.